Unbelievable, Texas fan. I simply didn't expect to hear that coming from the mouth of a player who doesn't even play on offense. Why would a Texas defender be so excited to the point of publicly talking about a unit that isn't even his? Over the last few hours, this started circulating among Longhorns fans, and people were commenting, sharing, reacting, because the topic touched a nerve that was still open since last year. How did this happen right now, in the middle of training camp, when everyone just wanted to know about the starting offense? Why did a defensive player decide to open up about teammates he doesn't even face during the season? And what's most curious, we are talking about an athlete who is projected as a potential All-American, someone who spent the last 5 months training side by side with this group, and who apparently saw something no one else was seeing. Can you imagine what he said? Because honestly, I didn't expect it. Before I tell you exactly what happened, let me set the scene. Texas had a frustrating 2025 when it came to the running game. The ground game simply didn't function the way it should have, and that became a point of criticism among the fan base all offseason long. That's why the program went after reinforcements at the position, brought in big-name talent via the transfer portal, and also bet on fresh blood coming straight out of high school. And this completely revamped group is exactly what the statement is about. I'm going to tell you everything without hiding a single detail. But first, you need to understand why this quote caught everyone by surprise within the Longhorns universe. Stick with me until the end. Hit the like button if you also root for Texas, and keep following along because the revelation is coming. Well then, the player in question is Rasheem Biles, a linebacker who arrived at Texas via the transfer portal and is now treated as one of the team's potential All-American candidates. During his press conference this Thursday, Biles held nothing back in his praise when talking about the trio of running backs that makes up the Longhorns' backfield this season. And look, it makes sense for him to know what he's talking about. It's 5 months of training against these guys every day, so if anyone has the authority to opine on the level of this running back room, it's precisely a defender who has to try to stop them in practice. And who are these running backs that left Biles impressed? The first name is Hollywood Smothers, who arrived at the Longhorns after a busy journey. He started his college career at Oklahoma, spent time at North Carolina State, and in the final stretch of the transfer process, even had a commitment lined up with Alabama before changing his mind at the last minute and choosing Texas. The second name is Raleek Brown, who came from Arizona State and quickly became an important piece in the coaching staff's plans to rebuild the ground attack. And there is a third character in this story, perhaps the most surprising of all. Derek Cooper, a freshman who just arrived on campus but is already being treated as a real threat in the battle for the position, to the point of featuring among the most talked-about names from the weekend of practices. Biles summarized his impression of the group in a direct way, saying that the team's running backs can do it all on the field. It's this kind of comment that makes fans pay attention, because it's not just any defender who goes out publicly praising the opposing offense within his own roster. And the interesting thing is that this evaluation doesn't come in isolation. Other reports from camp have also highlighted the performance of these three names, including recent praise from the coaching staff itself regarding the physical running style of freshman Cooper, who, according to the staff, has helped set the tone in practices recently. It's worth emphasizing that up to this moment, the team has not yet officially defined who the starter at the position will be. Recent projections from observers close to the program indicate Smothers slightly ahead in the race, with Brown right behind, and Cooper surging at a rapid pace despite being the only one of the three with no college-level experience. None of this is locked in, and the coaching staff has not yet publicly confirmed a definitive hierarchy among the three, so all of this remains behind-the-scenes observation rather than an official decision. For Texas, this type of signal matters far beyond a simple locker room compliment. After a season where rushing production fell short of expectations, seeing a player of Biles' caliber publicly validate the new running back group is a reason for genuine optimism for those who follow the program closely. If this trio can deliver on the field what they've been showing in practice, the Longhorns' offense could gain a completely different dimension within the very first weeks of the season. So, fan, what did you think of Biles' statement about our backfield? Do you believe this trio of running backs can truly solve the problem that stalled Texas's ground game in 2025? Leave your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think about this. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to closely follow all the upcoming Longhorns news, because there will be plenty of good stuff coming your way.